Namaste my fellow strikers, Holy Materia here, back with another Shinobi Striker video. Today we're going to be talking about the current state of range types in Shinobi Striker and how they can be improved, but before we get into it, be sure to Shinobi Strike that like button and subscribe for more content. Alright, let's get it. Okay, so at this point in the game, it's inarguable whether range type is the weakest class in the game. Even the development team recognizes it, as they talked about in the first development letter. They're going to be doing some type adjustments to rebalance the types so that range types, they recognize that range types are the weakest class and they have a hard time finishing off opponents. And then in the second developer's letter, we see the player data and the most popular or the most commonly used range type moves. And this is something that Despair pointed out, but if you look at the top 5 for range types, so we have Majestic, Destroyer Flame, Flame Control, Flame Lightning, Amaterasu, and Kamui Lightning Blade. So I pointed out last time that besides Majestic, all these moves are about lowering defense because all the Amaterasu moves lower defense. And they're all also about damage over time. So even Majestic does damage over time. So I've said in the past that range type is kind of like the Saboteur class, and we'll talk more about that in a second. But Despair pointed out, and I'll link his channel in the iCard. But Despair pointed out that all of these jutsu in the top 5 of jutsu that are used for range types, none of them are past season 3, and most of them are season 2 and below. If you look at Majestic, that's Madara season 1. Flame Control, base game. Flame Lightning, the Adult Sasuke, season 2. Amaterasu, base game. And then Kamui Lightning Blade came out at the beginning of season 3. And that was the first jutsu in season 3, or that was the first DLC in season 3. So that was years and years ago. Even if we look at the ultimates, besides the Wind Style Sea Dragon, all of those are also before season 3 and below. Kamui Shuriken season 3, the Adult Sasuke one season 2, Kidding base game, and then Tandem Paper Bomb, which was the biggest surprise, but Tandem Paper Bomb season 1. And even the tornado, Tamari's tornado alt is over a year old now. The Tamari DLC came out over a year ago at this point. So even with that one, it's still a year since range type have gotten anything that has changed what is in our top 5 of what range types use. So that is crazy, man. Like, range types are struggling. Like, at this point, I still get comments, people in my comments talking about, what do you mean range types aren't weak? What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Look at this is the data. The data speaks for itself. Like, I shouldn't need to explain this, but it's just wild. Like, I don't know how anybody can argue against it at this point. So like I've said before, like, range type is kind of like the support DPS class. We've been forced to become more like the support DPS class and be more the Saboteur, where we're doing status ailments and doing damage over time and stuff like that, which makes it harder for us to finish people off on our own without the help of an attack type, cleaning up opponents that we've debuffed. But something that's really telling about this, like, there's a lot of stuff that's telling about this top 5 ninjutsu list, but one big thing is that range types have a lot of different ways to debuff opponents. We have all kinds of different debuffing jutsu, things that seal subs, things that obstruct your view. There are all kinds of different things that we have. But if you notice this list, all of these are about defense down. There's nothing in the game, there's no status ailment in the game that's more crucial than the defense down. And if you look at this, none of the other classes in their top 5 and none of their top 5 moves are about status ailments, about inflicting a status ailment on the enemy. Like, there are some moves that also have some kind of status ailment that they put, but that's not the main function of the move. But with these Amaterasu moves, the main function is the damage over time and the defense down. And like, the main reason that they're popular is the defense down. It's not just about the damage over time. So there are 2 things that they could do moving forward to make range types better. And that one, since we know that defense down is such a crucial debuff to put on your opponent, and that's the most popular debuff thing that we can see in all of the classes, because range is the only class that we can see is focused on inflicting status ailments on opponents. So they can either make more range jutsu do a defense down, and then that would increase the popularity of those other moves. And I think that would be the easiest solution, is just like make other moves, like especially things like regular lightning blade and stuff. It doesn't do anything. Nobody ever uses or regular Chidori. Nobody uses that because it doesn't really do anything. But there are a bunch of moves that they could say, like, okay, well, this will also lower your defense. That would be easy, but it might be, but I don't know that would be the best thing to do. what they could do instead is to make other status ailments more impactful. Like there are status ailments like lowering attack speed or something like that don't really do anything. It doesn't really matter. Like with moves like Tsukuyomi, like nobody cares about lowering your opponent's attack speed. Like it does something, but it's not the same as it's not nearly as crucial as something like lowering defense. Even putting like obstructions in people or changing their controls or something like that, like none of that stuff is as crucial as getting your defense lowered, and none of that stuff helps your team finish off opponents as well as a defense debuff. So I think the easiest and maybe the best way would just be to make more moves lower defense. But I think it would be much more interesting if we just got either more status ailments that are completely different, or improve the status ailments that we have right now. So in the first developers letter, they were saying that going forward, we plan to increase the attack power of range types and make their specific strength, attacking from a distance, easier to utilize. And I think that's a big part of how to improve range types, but like, how do they do that? So one simple solution is to make tracking better on different jutsu or on their weapons and things like that. And I think the pistols were a great idea. It's a really great way to be able to attack from a safe distance and effectively attack your opponents. But the way it stands, like I think that they're decent, but they're still too inconsistent. This game is so fast paced, people are constantly moving, even in the lowest levels of gameplay, like everybody's always running around. So unless the pistols have like really high tracking, which they really don't, they need to be very fast. Like I'm not saying like hit scan fast where it's like an instant, they just travel the instant you push the button, but they should be faster than they are now so that it's more reliable. You can do more reliable damage. Like I don't think that it should be as accurate as like say an attack type doing a combo from up close, because they're putting themselves at a higher risk. So there should be like a balance between risk and reward. But I think they need to be at least a faster than they are right now. Like the traveling speed has to be faster for you to even come close to hitting people that are moving around the way people move in this game. So I think that's an easy way to make range types be able to attack more effectively from a distance. And maybe instead of just adding a bunch of different kinds of pistols, because like that's not, a lot of people that play this game don't really want to use that since it's not really like Naruto. Maybe they should just make the range of all the other weapons triangle buttons longer. Like a lot of the weapons and a lot of like my advice about how to play range has been about fighting from the distance of your triangle button with the different weapons, like how you throw your kunai. But it's like a very medium distance. It's not like really long range. But if they made the heavy attack longer range, like similar to how the pistols are with all the other weapons, then I think that that could be something that could really make range types more effective at a distance, like at longer distances. Like I think that all the other things should be the same. Like you should be able to charge through it with your charge attack the way you can now. It shouldn't be able to stop them the way the pistols do, for example. But the range should be longer so that you really are a range type. And I think that would make it more effective. It would make all the other weapons feel better, because after using those pistols and going back to one of the standard weapons, it's like, dang, I don't really feel like a range type anymore. I'm just like, I can throw things a little bit, but it's not really like range. And I think along with making range types get more alt charge with ninja tools, the heavy attack should also give them more alt charge with the weapons where the heavy attack is the only range attack, like with all those swords and stuff. Because this is a nice little buff that they could do for range types, but it still limits range, because if we have to put our focus on the ninja tool, then that will limit what ninja tools we can use, and it will also make some just completely unusable if we want to get this buff. Because like if you use any of the medicines, any of the pills, then that buff doesn't even do anything. So there should definitely be more to it. Like just like doing anything that hits people from a distance should give you more alt charge. That would make more sense. But yeah, man, it's just wild that all this is from season 3 and below, and most of it is from season 2 and below. And yeah, man, just let me know what you guys think of what do you think is the role of range types in the game, or what do you think the role should be? That's a question I want to hear from you guys. What do you think the role is now, and what do you think the role should be? because now I feel like for a while I feel like we've been like the saboteurs, like the people that help out the attack type finish people by inflicting status ailments. And I don't mind that, but there should just be a more effective way to do it, or there should be more moves that help do that. And right now the defense down stuff is the best way to do it, and it's just the easiest thing for people to like understand. Like everybody understands lower defense, so I think that's also a part of the reason why these things are so popular. Like not only are they effective, but they're just easy to understand. Like, you know, okay, lowering your opponent's defense, that's gonna now I can do more damage, now my teammates can do more damage. We all see the effects, we all understand it. It's easy to do. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think. I'm excited about this is the time for us to like come up with ideas on how to improve the game. They keep reiterating that they're open to fan feedback, so this is the time for us to come together as a community and let them know. Something that a lot of people have been asking for and that I've been wanting myself is for them to give us the masters fighting styles. That's the most crucial thing. I'm gonna have a separate video about that, but I just wanted to put that out there, right? I'm gonna be saying this probably at the end of every video. Like, man, just comment or send them feedback about putting the master's jutsu in the game. I know that'll be a balancing nightmare, but it would add so much freshness to the game. I'm gonna have a whole video talking about like why I think they haven't done that, but how dope it would be if they did it. But yeah, that'll be in the next video. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about everything that's going on with all these development letters. I think this is super dope. I love that they're listening to us, that they're listening to the community finally. It's a good time. We're heading out of those dark days, man. I feel like season 7 looks like it's going to be a big dub, hopefully, especially for range types. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the next one. Everybody stay safe out there. Peace and love.